good career drag racing. I've had a fun time, but I see it going downhill, and I see the fans going downhill. This guy can get the fans in. We've got to figure out how to put a show on. And he's got the classes, the people here, all the racers. This place is full of great racers, and I've watched every one of them. And we, as a group, can make this deal work with the rules to make a good show for the fans. And Kenny has stuck his neck out to do it, and I really want to support him however I can do it. I'm not saying I'm not going to run NHRA or stock or anything. Well, I'll run a golf cart. But I will tell you this guy knows how to get the people in. And if we've got that, that's something the NHRA has a trouble with. If we've got that, we can make this grow. I mean, we can get corporate sponsors over here. He can get corporate help, and it helps everybody in here. We can all make fairly good money doing this. And listen, I don't mean fairly good money. You're going to make a living. That's about as far as it gets. Nobody's going to make money. But we can all have fun, and I think that's what it's all about. And I don't have much more to say other than I love this guy. I love what he's done. I have a lot of respect for what he's doing today. And I'm going to do whatever I can do to support him. And I think all the engine builders will do what they can do. And I just hope you guys support him. That's all I'm asking. And thank you very much.
So with that, whether there's one car or a field of 4 or a field of 8, we only had 3 at drag stock. It was a hell of a good pro stock race. So Insane Pro Mod will definitely, or Insane Pro Stock, excuse me, will join Insane Pro Mod as one of our new classes. He couldn't stay today. He had a family obligation. His girlfriend's wife's, I believe, 84th or 88th, her grandfather's birthday parties today. So Larry Jeffers, the owner of the ADRL, wanted me to extend his heartfelt thanks to everybody. And we're also announcing today that Larry's newest companies, Extreme Racing Products and the Extreme Racing brand line of products, specifically their racing fuel and racing oil, have signed a multi-year agreement to be the official racing fuel and racing oil of the 2017 and the ADRL Tour beyond that. And for those that have out there, I know Mark Woodruff supported Larry with signage and stuff. When Larry Jeffers does something, like him or love him, he goes all in. And I just happen to love him, and I know it's going to be a huge success. And I can't thank him enough just for his time commitment, but his financial support through Extreme Racing Fuels and Racing Oil, the official racing fuel and racing oil of the ADRL. As we wrap things up here, perhaps the most important thing of the day, which is why a lot of you are here, 2013 payout, up the escalators, room 244. ADRL.tour.com will go live today. We'll continue to build it over the coming days and weeks. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ADRL Tour. And for the big announcement, I'd like to introduce a couple of people who I just met 2 days ago. We've spoken on the phone probably more than I've spoke to my own wife in the last 3 weeks leading up to this. Does anybody in here enjoy paying entry fees? Just a show of hands. Anybody that thinks paying entry fees when you go to a drag race is a good thing?
I think it's great.
Spoken like a true track manager. Up until we sold the ADRL, and for those of you that raced in here or raced with us prior to that, from 2002, whether it was the AMS Pro Mod Challenge, Frankie Taylor, Brandon Pez, 2004 to 2010, Todd Tutterow, did you ever pay an entry fee at the ADRL? Thanks to the gentleman I'm about to introduce and what's under that board, from this point forward, there will be no more entry fees in the ADRL. None. 0. It's my job. It's always been my job since day one. It's my job to bust my ass and to go out and get the sponsors and the marketing partners to pay those entry fees. Could you imagine Tom Cruise rolling up on the set at Paramount and they stop his Maybach or whatever he's driving, his Benz or his... Mr. Cruise, before you get on the set today, we're going to need $5 grand. What are you, crazy? You guys are the stars of the show, and the idea that you've been charged entry fees, and I'm embarrassed to say, because of the financial climate, we had to do it in 2013. Never again. Never again. It's my job to make sure that that doesn't happen. And the only way I was to make sure that doesn't happen this year was to get a title sponsor for the ADRL. So without further ado, to unveil that, and no, we didn't go out and get anything fancy. All my money's going to you guys. I don't have enough to pay for the banner that's on there. I had to have him bring it up from Jupiter, Florida. The president and the CEO of, I'm trying not to get emotional because what they're doing is really changing everything. RJS Racing Equipment, Performance Two-Way Racing Radios, the CEO, Jeff Beagle, his son Ryan, the president. If you guys could come up and do the unveiling, please. The 2017 ADRL Tour will be powered by, and the only reason we don't have to charge entry fees is because of these two gentlemen. Guys?
Ready?
Good.
There you go.
I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Jeff, I'd ask you to step down and just say a few words about getting involved with the ADRL. Ryan, if you'd like, but again, I always say this at the ADRL events, for our men and women serving the armed services who'll get to watch a lot of these videos, first, before I get to them, can we give our men and women of the armed services a huge round of applause? Because while we're here at the PRI show having fun, they're out on the front lines, both here and abroad, providing us the blanket of freedom to do that. These two guys deserve the loudest round of applause today, because without them, I don't know that I'd be standing here, and I can assure you that the 2017 ADRL Tour, powered by RJS Racing Equipment and Performance Two-Way Racing Radios, they're the sole reason that the entry fees have gone away. Prior to them, it was Flowmaster, the National Guard, and now they've stepped up. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of everybody with the ADRL, thank you, and please, keep working.
We're just happy to be a part of, the ADRL. I've missed all the, the 2013 stuff, which is good. I don't want to be a part of it, but we're just pleased to be a part of, the race and everything that you do. So.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
You're not in the safety business to make $1 million, but you got to be in the racing to be able to do that job.
And I can tell you one thing about ADRL racers, whether it's radios, whether it's safety equipment, they're the most loyal people that I've ever done business with. So Jeff, Ryan, thank you very much. All right, so dinner's over. Now it's time for dessert, being served in room 244, right upstairs. We'd ask that everybody kind of go out. We'll try to get you through as quick as we possibly can. There are a lot of people that have to get paid. If you could just wait outside the door, form a line of some kind or whatever, powwow, and we'll get you in and we'll get you out as quick as we possibly can. We'll be passing around clipboards so that you can fill out your paperwork. If you don't have a W-9 in yet, you can review and sign the release. Again, in closing, if you're not comfortable signing this today, that does not mean that you're not going to get paid. If you want to have your lawyer review it, by all means do that. But the only way that my lawyer is going to let me write these checks to pay is if you sign this document. So with that, let's go racing. Thank you guys.